And we say good morning, television family. It's good to see you again, second day of July, 2024. My calendar tells me it's Tuesday, and I don't think it would lie to me. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Very nice, mild morning, a little breezy, but not bad. It's 63 degrees, mid-80s today, lots of sunshine, and a lot of wind. It's going to be windy today, going to be windy tonight, breezy on Wednesday. The wind dies down Wednesday night. Throughout the course of the day tomorrow, the ridge of high pressure, which is actually just off the Pacific coast, is going to ship up to the north. It's going to drag in. It's going to spin clockwise. That's how these things work with the high pressure system, and it's going to suck a bunch of that hot, dry air from the California desert right on up our way, and we're going to be triple digits by the weekend. So get ready for the first significant heat wave, and this sucker may last a while, according to the National Weather Service. So if you like to be outside and don't like the heat, today and tomorrow are your best days. We start really warming up on Independence Day, Thursday, and then just hot for an extended period of time. Your very warm weather forecast is on the way. Something in news you absolutely do not want to miss. Jefferson Robbins, our news director, had a chance to visit with a lady who was attacked by a bear, a black bear in Leavenworth a couple of years ago. You know this story. Camille let her dog out and did not know there was a bear nearby and was attacked by the bear. She has never talked about this to the media, but she sat down with Jefferson Robbins. We're going to have that interview with Jefferson and this lovely lady during the news segment. It's a story you do not want to miss. Not a lot of sports to talk about. The Mariners didn't play yesterday. Apple Sox didn't play yesterday, but Edmonton did play Port Angeles, and they beat them, but not by enough. Apple Sox win the West Coast League's Northern Division first half championship in a very unique way. I guess we'll just have to, I'll explain that to you when we get to sports. In the back half of the program, my friend Allie Jordan, our mutual friend Allie Jordan of Elevated Marketing, will be dropping by to remind you of all the big events happening at Walla Walla Point Park on Thursday afternoon and Thursday night for the Wenatchee Valley 4th of July celebration. Everything you need to know about celebrating our nation's birthday with Allie Jordan. In the back half of the program, and Mike Minotti has an opinion as well. Let's take our tour. And we should have some spectacular views today. We always do from these cameras. They are a nice tool to have. And we have to remind ourselves occasionally that these cameras are tools, not toys. But they are valuable tools indeed. Of course, from the very edge of Wenatchee Heights, looking over the valley proper, it is looking good today. Again, it is going to be breezy. And then we have into a heat wave that really kind of starts, I guess, in a way, Wednesday, but really gets going on Thursday. Not a cloud to be had. A gorgeous view from our Wenatchee Heights camera. Let's go on up to Billy Goat. Slightly different angle. We pan that off to the left, and we see our normal view, the Methow River, Pateros, Brewster, and on up the Okanagan and Omak Valley. We have that turned to the south and to the east. So little sliver of the Columbia River there and a big swath of the upper Columbia Basin. Huge, long view from our Billy Goat camera. That's spectacular. That's over a mile above sea level, our Billy Goat camera. Not quite a mile above sea level, but still up there quite a bit, is Jump Off. We say good morning to the Stimmel Basin. Stimmel Basin, because it's higher with cooler temperatures, they're a little later than the other orchardists that grow cherries. They might still be, of course, in the cherry season in that area. I'm assuming they are for those cherry orchardists who grow in the higher elevations, such as the Stimmelt area and Wenatchee Heights, which you can see off into the distance. And a little bit of snow up there. Good morning to our friends in the basin from Jump Off Ridge. And another camera that's about a mile high. Blag Mountain looking down over Leavenworth. Good morning to Leavenworth. And it looks like they've had some significant snowmelt over the last week or so, and that snowmelt will continue with these very warm temperatures. Camera's moving a little bit because it is a little windy. Right now in the Wenatchee Valley, the wind is out of the west-northwest at 14 miles an hour. I mentioned it's going to be breezy today. Relative humidity is not going to be too bad, though. That's good, but this is going to be a very windy day today. I think we can actually call it windy. Your peak wind gusts, again, this is not sustained winds, this is your peak wind gusts. And most of these will be late in the afternoon into the early evening hours. We could see gusts mid-30s anyway. A little, not quite as windy up to the north of us, but Ellensburg will be breezy. It'll be breezy out in the Columbia Basin as well, so obviously an increased fire risk. But the relative humidity is not going to be low enough where they're going to issue a red flag warning, I don't think. It has to be a combination of hot temperatures, windy conditions, and low relative humidity. But the relative humidity, I think, is going to be a little too high for a red flag warning to be issued, and I'm all for that. So it's going to be breezy today and tonight, and a little breezy on Wednesday as well. As far as the 4th of July is concerned, which also coincides with Independence Day, as far as winds are concerned, it's going to be just fine. You can't shoot off fireworks in the wind, you know. If it's too windy, they can't do it. But it looks like it's going to be just fine. It's going to be warm, very warm, on the 4th of July for the Wenatchee Valley, but I don't think it's going to be windy enough to necessitate maybe postponing the fireworks. The fireworks show will go off on Thursday night at about 10:15, but it is going to be hot during the day on Independence Day. And then here comes the heat wave. I like this slide because it shows some other areas that you may be visiting or partaking in. Moses Lake, for instance. Omak, you're going to be hot, not quite in the triple digits. Wenatchee, we could very well see triple digits by Saturday and Sunday. Close to record high temperatures. In fact, as we go through the forecast from the National Weather Service, I'll let you know when we're going to get close to that. For today, lots of sunshine, mid-80s, and again, windy. A sustained northwest wind, 13 to 18 miles an hour. Gusts, as you already saw, above 30. Maybe even the mid-30s at times. It's going to be windy overnight tonight. The wind will be pretty consistent, right around 20 miles an hour northwest. Gusts, again, above 30 overnight tonight. The wind begins to die down on Wednesday as the high-pressure ridge begins to shift. It's going to shift slightly to the north and slightly to the east, and that means the pressure gradients will be loosening up. Still some residual wind on Wednesday, but now we really get going. 89 for our forecast high on Wednesday. For Independence Day, 96. Now that's pretty hot, but it's been hotter on the 4th of July. And now we start talking about maybe bumping into some records on Friday. Friday's forecast high is 101. Our record high on Friday the 5th is 103. That was set back in 1968. Saturday, January 6th, forecast high 103, record high 104. That was set back in 1968. On Sunday, 103 again for the forecast high for Sunday the 7th. Our record high 100 degrees in 2015. So a record high temperature on Sunday is definitely within our wheelhouse, and maybe again on Monday. Our forecast high Monday is 102. Our record high is 103, set back in 2012. So we could be bumping in, getting very close to record high temperatures once we get to Friday. And it looks like on Sunday, if the forecast holds true, that 103 degree mark would be a new record high for that date. We're going to take a break at 8 minutes after the hour and come back with the news. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel. The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
As sheriff, I arrested rioters, rapists, and mass murderers, locked up human traffickers who preyed on women and children. On my watch, everyone was accountable. Despite being the Attorney General for 12 years, Bob Ferguson does not take responsibility for the rapid increase in crime and homelessness, businesses moving out of state, and jobs lost. And he thinks he deserves a promotion?
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
Lots of sunshine, 63 degrees, mid-80s with, unfortunately, a lot of wind today. It's going to be windy tonight. We'll call it breezy. On Wednesday, we'll be pushing 90 on Wednesday, well into the 90s for Independence Day, and triple digits begin on Friday. It's 10 minutes after the hour. The Wenatchee church leader was convicted Friday of felony assault for beating and strangling his former domestic partner. A jury found 50-year-old Isaac David Heckman guilty on 2 out of 3 counts of second-degree assault. Heckman is the lead pastor of the Assembly of Called Out Believers. That's a ministry that combines elements of Judaism with evangelical Christianity. His former partner told Chelan County Sheriff's deputies that Heckman struck her on multiple occasions throughout the year 2021, including assaults in which he choked her unconscious and left her with broken ribs. The jury did deadlock on a 3rd assault count that alleged that Heckman threatened the woman with a shotgun. Heckman remains free after posting a $100,000 bail. Superior Court Judge Travis Brandt will sentence him on July 17th. Each conviction carries a potential prison term of up to 10 years. 2 data center companies are suing Grant County at what they say are exorbitant property tax bills. Saby is the owner of the Intergate data operation in Quincy, and they say Grant County overbilled roughly $1.3 million in the last 2 years based on an erroneous valuation of their property. Meanwhile, RS Titan, they're in Moses Lake, they say they paid $396,000 too much on their 2023 tax bill, also based on an incorrect valuation from the previous year. The tax cases are going to be challenged in Douglas County Superior Court. Intergate filed a similar tax objection suit last year. Last week, the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority awarded a contract for $6 million to Cascade Central Construction. They're going to renovate the Pangbourne Memorial Airport's General Aviation Terminal. The General Aviation Terminal includes operations such as search and rescue, private flights, pilot training, agricultural flights, and more. The remodel is set to transform the roughly 6,400 square foot hangar space. It'll include an aviation and passenger terminal, as well as a pilot's lounge and space for administration staff. The remodel will begin early next month and is expected to be completed by early spring of next year. Data presented by the Wenatchee School District shows multilingual learners falling behind in math and reading. On June 25th, Executive Director of Learning and Teaching Heidi Busk presented an update to the Wenatchee School Board on the performance of several grade levels in the spring of 2023 and the spring of this year. The district's strategic plan aims to get students reading on a grade level by 3rd grade and at grade level or beyond their grade level by 8th grade in algebra. The data shows less than 25% of multilingual learners performing on grade level in math and ELA, except 3rd grade reading, which shows slightly over 25% of multilingual learners on grade level. Busk said the 4th grade students and above previously only received reading intervention or language support, which is no longer the model that the district uses. Speaking of schools, Wenatchee Valley College has a new interim director of concurrent enrollment programs. Aracy Mendoza, who is a Wenatchee Valley College graduate through the Running Start program, will fill the position left by Maria Christina Monroe. Concurrent enrollment includes programs where students can earn high school and college credit at the same time, including Running Start, career and technical education, and college in the high school. After completing her associate degree at Wenatchee Valley College, Mendoza transferred to Washington State University. She earned a dual degree in anthropology and digital technology. Mendoza has been with Wenatchee Valley College in the concurrent enrollment program since 2021 as an educational planner. Camille Stem is a retired nurse and a lifelong Wenatchee Valley resident. She grew up observing and understanding the black bears that live and forage in the Cascade foothills. But 2 years ago, while letting out her dog Pepper, Camille was attacked on her own Leavenworth doorstep by a mother bear who'd grown a little too accustomed to finding food amongst the humans. In her first ever interview, Camille spoke with NCW Life about that frightening encounter and the lessons she hopes her community will take away from it.
About 5, maybe 6. Dad and I went camping way up the icicle, and it was when it was a dirt road all the way. And we went fishing, and we cooked our dinner, and then we threw out a pad and slept under the stars. And Dad put the food up, you know, and he said, well, if a bear or anything comes, just crawl down in your bag and just stay there. Don't worry, we'll be fine. And a bear did come, and he woke me up and said, now be real quiet. There's a bear sniffing us. And the bear did sniff and walked away because we weren't fresh food, I suppose. It was a sleeping bag and such. So that was the first time. I did a lot of trail running, so you're always looking for bears or cougars, and you're kind of a gift for them in a way if they're hungry and if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. But most animals like to go away, but you're always looking, and saw more bear than anything else. Ran into on trails up the icicle mama bear and 2 cubs one day, and that was, oh, okay, so my friend and I made lots of noise and kept on going, and when we came back we started making a ton of noise about a mile away, wherever she was. But yeah, it was always a lot of respect, not a lot of fear, a lot of respect. The flue going upstairs became a haven for yellow jackets, and it was the end of October, and the yellow jackets were laying their larvae. We put this together way after the fact, and she was going up for that larva. The 2 days earlier, late in the afternoon, she had been here on a Thursday, too late to call the city. Should have left a message, that'd been fine, and I was gone the next day, and then this happened on Saturday. I came out with Pepper, it was 6:30, pretty typical timing, went up the stairs there, and I stood on top of the stairs on the concrete and watched him go do his thing. The outside lights come on, and I must have heard something because I turned a bit, and at that point, she must have slammed me to the concrete. It totally knocked me out. It laid open the back of my head all the way across. And while I was out, she clawed my leg, which to this day, those spots are very tender. That's just so deep. She clawed across my pelvic region a couple of times, tore a lot open, and when I came to, she was on top of me, and she was rooting around my neck. I woke up enough and it ticked me off. And that's when I gave her a right hook, and I hit her real hard, and she didn't like that. And then I gave her a left, and she really didn't like that, and she kind of shook, and then she just backed off slowly, and she turned around and walked away. And I went, whoa, okay. I had no idea to the extent of my injuries at that time, none whatsoever. Bears kill by getting the femoral artery or the carotid artery. She went after both. I'm very lucky, but that is how they kill. She missed my femoral by a hair, or I would have bled out. And she didn't get to my carotid because I woke up and I gave her a right punch. I was bleeding an awful lot. My head was open and it was just spinning. I couldn't hardly find a way to walk straight. But I decided the hospital's right there, my car's right there, my dog's right there. I'll go get my keys and drive to the hospital. I can get there quicker than calling 911. I mean, I'm lucky in so many ways. Very lucky. It was and has been a very long recovery. I still have issues, probably always will, with my brain and with the dizziness and the where's my foot going to hit the ground when I walk. But I'm okay. Bears don't do that. That's not a natural thing. That was a weird circumstance. But she had been so habituated to food and garbage cans. She was a huge bear. She was almost 300 pounds, somewhere in there. That's because of the garbage. 10 minutes after she attacked me, she was caught on video up at Yodeland trying to get into food. I probably drove right past her. The habituated ones, yeah, they're worrisome. But regular bears, no, they're not. No. My neighbors up here got the first bear can, and that was a good thing because those cans were getting knocked over all the time. Certainly have a bear-proof can. Number one, if you have garbage, you have a bear-proof can. If you don't, shame on you. You can take that out. But really, it's vitally important in this community. There are so many cans all over. This bear is gone because it was so habituated to food. And they're trying to, get all the weight on that they can before winter. Bear-proof cans, just being very aware of things around you. Not leaving bowls of dog food out, bowls of cat food out, anything like that. They smell it. They're just amazing creatures that can find anything. So I guess that's the top of the list. I think of all the tourists that go walking through. When I sat here on this deck and watched people come down one day, there was last summer, mama bear and 2 cubs, and the woman came down in just a little tube, and she was going towards her wanting to get a picture. And mama bear can go right through that water fast. Woman in a little tube is not going to move fast. And I had to yell at her, "Don't do that. You're putting yourself in real peril." And I've done that more than once off of this deck. So there's a lot of concern, especially as the season gets really going. And I know the city feels that way. I know Fish and Game feel that way.
A remarkable story is part 2 of our 3-part series on bears. Don't get near them. Part 3 will air tomorrow. By the way, that interview can be found on our website, ncwlife.com. That's what's making news on this Tuesday. Whatever makes news today, we will have it for you tonight with our evening news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and, well, I can't do 10. Well, I can, but I can't. Right here on television, and if that doesn't work for you, we'll have it up on the World Wide Web. This is going to be big, this whole internet thing. I'm on record. It's going to be huge, this internet stuff. It'll be on our homepage, ncwlife.com, our Facebook page, our YouTube page. We have an X account. We have Instagram. We have an app. If you haven't downloaded the app, you can do it right now by picking up your smartphone, and you'll be good to go. And if something out there you think warrants our attention, you get a hold of us. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Not a lot of sports to talk about because the 2 big sporting teams around here didn't play. Talking about the Mariners and the Apple Sox, but the Apple Sox had a good Monday anyway. Sports is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
As Chelan's premier lifestyle store, Willow, find unique home decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Come visit for a welcoming and memorable shopping experience.
Lake Chelan Sports is the place to find top brands like Hoka, Ons, Patagonia, and now a full line of Warrior products. With excellent customer service, Lake Chelan Sports has what you need.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
It's that time of year to get the springtime toys ready. Doghouse Motorsports has everything you need to get the show on the road or the trail. If a new machine is in the plan, Doghouse now has a complete inventory from which to choose. So get ready to ride.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen's a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions, and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Sports at 26 minutes after the hour. The Mariners had the day off yesterday, and now here comes a very good Baltimore Orioles team. The Mariners and the Orioles, the first of 3 games, they're both leading their divisions. They do battle tonight at T-Mobile Park. The Orioles are tied with the Yankees for first in the AL East. They have a plus 112 run differential. That's very good. The Mariners have a 3-game lead over the Astros in the AL West. They have a run differential of plus 6. In other words, the Mariners have been pretty lucky this year. Grayson Rodriguez will start for the Orioles. The Mariners will counter with George Kirby. First pitch is at 6:40. This will be a very important series for the Mariners because the Astros won again yesterday. So they are now just 3 games behind the Mariners. In fact, the Astros, I hate to say it, have won 9 out of their last 10, including yesterday's 2-1 victory over the Blue Jays. So the Mariners lead the Astros by 3 games. The world champion Rangers have been struggling this year. They're 8 games behind, followed by the Angels and then the Athletics. Closer to home, the Wenatchee Apple Sox begin the second half of their West Coast League schedule tonight, knowing that they have clinched a playoff spot. Both Wenatchee and Edmonton finished the first half with identical 18-9 league records. Well, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head records, and although both Wenatchee and Edmonton are in the same division, they have yet to play each other. So it goes to the second tiebreaker, and that is run differential in league play. So in order for Edmonton to win the tiebreaker, they needed to beat Port Angeles last night by 15 runs or more. They beat the Lefties by 13 runs, 16-3. So Wenatchee not only wins the first half division title, but assure themselves the top seed and home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs in August. Whew. Yeah, it was close. Wenatchee welcomes Victoria to town for the first of a 3-game series tonight at 6:35. Tomorrow night is fireworks night, and the first pitch on Wednesday night will be at 7:05. And finally, to the West Coast League scoreboard, there's the Edmonton-Port Angeles score, 16-3. So Wenatchee wins the division by outscoring Edmonton by 2 runs over the course of 27 league games. Who says every run doesn't count? Victoria got by Nanaimo 4-3, and in the first game of the doubleheader, Nanaimo took the nightcap 5-4. Portland crushed Walla Walla 12-4. Kamloops and Kelowna were rained out. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 29 minutes after the hour. Happy Flag Day in Caraco, by the way. It's also World UFO Day, but no, today is I forgot. It's I Forgot Day today, which reminds me that the brain really is a remarkable machine. It really does. I mean, here's some fun facts about your brain as we think about things that we forgot. Scientists estimate that the average person has over 70,000 different thoughts in a single day. That's a lot. Your short-term memory only holds about 7 pieces of information at any one time. The human brain holds approximately 2.5 petabytes of storage. That is a ginormous amount of storage, but by the time a person reaches 80 years old, 20% of the nerve connections in the brain's hippocampus don't work anymore. They've been lost. And over the course of a lifetime, scientists estimate that the human brain will hold about 1 quadrillion pieces of information. We are inundated with tons of information every day, and of course it gets worse every day because there's just that much more information out there for our brain to register. So today is National I Forgot Day. There's actually a term, and I think this happens to everybody. You think of something that you need to do right away, and you get up and you leave, and you walk from one doorway to the other, and you get to their second location, and you go, so what did I get up? What was I going to do? That's actually a term for that. And what causes it is when you actually go through a doorway and your brain says, okay, well, you accomplished what it was you wanted to do. Let's move on to the next thing, when you didn't actually do it. Today is National I Forgot Day, always celebrated on July 2nd. Today in history, President Garfield was on his way to vacation. President James Garfield. He was going to take the Independence Day holiday off, and he went to the Baltimore and Potomac Railroad Station in our nation's capital, and he was shot by Charles Guiteau. Garfield lived for 79 more days. He didn't die until September 19th. Most contemporary historians say that basically the doctors botched it. If they did the thing right, they probably could have saved James Garfield's life. They didn't. Can you imagine that? Getting shot and then living for another 79 days. He got shot on this date in Washington, D.C. He would die September 19th, becoming the second president to be assassinated. The actual shooting took place on this date in 1881. On this date 87 years ago, Amelia Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, are missing. They were last heard from over the Pacific Ocean. They were trying to fly all the way around the world, not in one flight, of course, this is 1937, around the equator. The idea was to follow the equator all the way around the world. They were never heard from again somewhere over the Pacific Ocean. And the case of Amelia Earhart began, most people think she perished at sea. 83 years ago today, July the 2nd, 1941, Joltin' Joe did it. On a sweltering day in front of 52,832 fans at Yankee Stadium, Joe DiMaggio, the Yankee Clipper, breaks Wee Willie Keeler's 1897 Major League record hitting streak. He hit in his 45th consecutive game for the new record, a 3-run home run off Red Sox hurler Dick Newsom, and this streak would continue for another 2 weeks. One of the most remarkable records, not only in baseball history, but sports history, was set on this date in 1941. I don't think anybody's going to hit in 57 consecutive games. I just don't think it's possible. Happy birthday, I guess, to Walmart. The very first Walmart store. Back then it was Wall with a dash mart. They got rid of the dash a number of years ago. Very first Walmart opens for business in Rogers, Arkansas. They got a lot more now. Here are the facts. There are now 11,484 Walmarts in 27 countries. Walmart is the world's largest company by revenue. It is the world's largest private employer in the world. About 2.2 million people work at Walmart or for Walmart. Walmart averages a profit of $1.8 million every hour. 40 million people shop at Walmart every day. Walmart's combined annual sales exceed those of Kroger, Target, and Costco, all of them combined. Since 1962, when the first Walmart opened, single-store retailers, mom-and-pop stores, have declined 62%. If Walmart was a country, it would have the 27th largest economy in the world. And we'll close out with this. What is Walmart's top-selling item for the last 5 years? Bananas. They sell a lot of bananas. Walmart is 62 years old today. This is the 60th anniversary of one of the most significant pieces of legislation of its time. President Lyndon B. Johnson signs the Civil Rights Act of 1964 into law, prohibiting segregation in public places. It took a long, long time for this to happen. Repercussions are still being felt today, but the Civil Rights Bill, the landmark Civil Rights Bill, signed into law 60 years ago today. And on a much sadder note, say goodbye to the Seattle Supersonics. After 41 years, the oldest professional Seattle sports franchise, the Seattle Supersonics, announced they will move from Seattle. They gave an agreement. They signed an agreement with Seattle. They gave Seattle some money and a few other odds and ends, and they moved to Oklahoma City to become the Oklahoma City Thunder. And ever since that day, back in 2008, they've been trying to get the Sonics back again. And let's do some birthdays. We have some heavenly birthdays. The legendary Thurgood Marshall, the 86th Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court. He was the founder of the NAACP's Legal Defense and Education Fund. He was the executive director, and he argued numerous landmark cases before the United States Supreme Court and won a lot of them, almost all of them, including Smith v. Allwright, Shelley v. Kramer, and most importantly, Brown v. Board of Education, the first African American to serve on the Supreme Court, the legendary Thurgood Marshall, born in the state in 1908. Medgar Evans was a civil rights activist in Mississippi. He was the field secretary of the NAACP. He worked to overturn segregation at the University of Mississippi. He tried to end segregation in public facilities, expand voting rights for African Americans, and for all of that, Medgar Evans was shot to death in 1963 by a white supremacist and a member of the Ku Klux Klan, Medgar Evers, born in the state in 1925. He was, by the way, killed in front of his family. And two living birthdays. The King, Richard Petty, won the NASCAR championship 7 times. Only Dale Earnhardt and Jimmy Johnson have accomplished that feat. He won a record 200 races in his career. He won the biggest race of them all, the Daytona 500, a record 7 times. In 1967, he won 27 NASCAR races, including 10 in a row. Statistically speaking, Richard Petty is the most successful driver in the history of NASCAR, and it ain't even close. The King is 87 years old today, and happy 77th birthday to Larry David. He was the co-creator, the head writer, and producer of Seinfeld for its first 7 seasons, and then, of course, he wrote or co-wrote every episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, which had his final show not long ago. You briefly saw the Pool to Spa Services slide. They're one of our awesome sponsors. We love our friends at Pool to Spa Services, but we like Alpine Air a lot too. Alpine Air, for heat and air, call Alpine Air. You know the forecast, folks. A heat wave's coming. We're going to be in the mid-90s on the 4th of July. We'll be in triple digits Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Your air conditioner will probably be running 24/7 without a break. Make sure it's ready to keep you cool by giving Alpine Air a call. Special thanks to our friends at Pool to Spa Services. You're going to wish you had a swimming pool this weekend, and if you don't, give them a call. Might not be too late. Pool to Spa Services. And special thanks to our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, their main campus in Wenatchee and their satellite campus in East Wenatchee. Mike Minotti's got an opinion coming up, and then we had a great opportunity to talk with Allie Jordan. She runs Elevated Marketing, and her organization is in charge of all the fun times to be had at Walla Walla Point Park the day after tomorrow. Allie will join me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today and let's find your happy place.
Introducing Wenatchee's Riverfront District.
Call ahead to the Cheesemonger in the Pybus Public Market for gourmet cheese trays for your event or dinner party. Imported or domestic cheese, salami, olives, and more. Entertain your guests with the best from the Cheesemonger.
Visit the Wenatchee Riverfront District for fun, food, and entertainment.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I post on Facebook quite a bit. It drives my poor wife crazy. And I'm often posting about issues that I have with what certain churches do and about my concerns about what is being presented concerning what some call Christianity these days. And then I'll get accused of picking on a specific church, even though I never mentioned a specific church by name. Well, this is what my response is in the question I want to ask. If I say something general and unspecifically critical about what some are calling Christianity these days, and you immediately connect that criticism to a specific religious group and jump to the conclusion that that's the group I'm talking about, doesn't that say more about that particular organization than does my criticism? Think about that. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
I moved here 6 years ago. The manager here asked me what I like to do, and I told him that I like to play games, I like to play cards. And he said, "Boy, have I got a woman for you to meet." And he introduced me to her, and we walked down the hall, and I took her hand, and we've never let go of each other.
Life is so good when you're happy, and I'm very happy at Prestige.
Hey folks, this is Blueberry Carrie bringing you a public service announcement. With today's fast pace, sometimes you just need to be reminded to just breathe. Come on out to Blueberry Hills and enjoy the panorama of beautiful blueberry fields and these gorgeous North Cascades mountains. Your food is always cooked fresh to order, and our down-home scratch country recipes are always well worth the wait. Our delicious breakfast dips, pies, and pastries await you and your family. So come on out to Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now.
I'm currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
This Thursday, the United States turns, I think, 246 years old, give or take a couple. I'm not good with math. I can't even balance my own checkbook. What I can tell you is Thursday is Independence Day, also occasionally known as the 4th of July. And the one place you want to be is Walla Walla Point Park again this year, because anytime it's a non-COVID year, we're having ourselves a party. Allie Jordan from Elevated Marketing has taken over the do's and don'ts and the logistics of this project, and it's big. You've had a busy month or so, Allie, trying to get everything going, all the T's crossed and the I's dotted for Thursday. Are you ready?
Yes, we're ready. We're ready for a fireworks show, some entertainment, some good food, and some good beverages in the Red, White, and Brews beer garden. So we're really excited. Like you said, been working hard with the team to put things together. The PUD, the pyrotechnic team, Wenatchee PD, the city of Wenatchee. Yeah, been working.
When you got this gig, got the contract, did you know the kind of work you were in for? Because this is a lot of work.
Oh yes, yeah. I knew what it would entail. It's not my first rodeo with events, or large-scale events, so I knew what it would entail, and we did have to put it together in short order, but luckily we have a lot of people who have a lot of experience with this event specifically, and they've been doing it for a long time, so really been leaning into them for assistance.
Yeah, go with people who've done it before.
Yep, know what they're doing.
The one big change this year, if there's any significant change, it used to be fairly earlier in the day. It would be late morning, early afternoon is when all the festivities would start with music and all kinds of stuff going on. You've bumped that back to about 3:30 in the afternoon for a good reason.
Yeah, so we're really focusing on the meat of the day, the entertainment, the food vendors, the youth activities. So we're starting at 3:30, and entertainment, we're going to start with the DJ so that we really have a nice wide variety of music going on to ease into the day. Then we're going to have a regional country artist at 5:30, and then we're going to have pre-funk headlining about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then we'll have Kayla Taylor singing the national anthem into the fireworks. And then we'll have the youth activity area. Swire Coca-Cola will have a booth there with kind of a soccer shot station. We'll have some bubble activities for the kids, some cornhole for the kids, a variety of different activities. And then the food booths, we'll have Freddy's Kitchen, the Donner House.
Good sandwiches, good stuff.
Good stuff. We'll have a variety of sweets. We'll have Bubble Waffle House, who does concoctions. They wrap them up and put some ice cream. We'll have churros, so lots of variety there. Yeah, and then the Red, White, and Brews Beer Garden. We'll have the Tap Room by Hellbent and Pair Up Cider. And WDA, the Wenatchee Downtown Association, is our host this year for the Beer Garden.
In years past, a local radio station would play music, either live music there from the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra or something pre-taped that would basically coincide, not exactly, but at least patriotic music during fireworks. Is that happening this year, or are you on your own for that?
Yes, so we are going to have music being played during the event. For those who are on hand, we'll have music and a track that'll go along with the theme of the fireworks show. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Does the fireworks show have a theme?
Well, I think that they try to kind of just make it appear as though there's a theme with the music and with the show. So they try and make it coincide.
I've mentioned this on this program many times before. I'm going to mention it again. The best place to watch the fireworks is, without question, right there at Walla Walla Point Park, right down there by the spit. Because you not only you're as close as you can to the fireworks, but you can feel the concussion of the fireworks as they go off. You're gathered with a bunch of people, so everybody's reacting at the same time. But a lot of people will go wherever there's a nice view of the Columbia River and watch it, and they're not paying a dime. Well, nobody's paying a dime.
Yes.
You know, so it's time to ask people to donate. Damn it. Jim, if you could throw up that one slide that had the QR code on it real quick, plus the sponsor, I'd appreciate it. First of all, if you donate $50, you get. You're in for a drawing for Mariner tickets, right? There you go. Take a look there. Walk people through that slide right there.
Yeah. So the event is paid for through LTAC, which is lodging and tax dollars. So guests of the community, people who stay in hotels and so forth, that's what this event really is. We utilize those funds towards, and then sponsorships and donations from the community to put on things like the entertainment stage and having the youth activity. Those types of things are community funded, and this is one of the ways you can donate and get something back possibly. So there's 4 Mariner tickets, so it's valued up to $500. And the game is on the 20th, July 20th. So that's thanks to Swire Coca-Cola.
It was nice of them to do that.
Yeah, super nice.
Yeah, so you donate $50 or more, you can use the QR code, or you can go right to the website. You're in on the drawing.
Yeah.
And my guess is the drawing is fairly soon after the July 4th, so people can make plans. Hey, you won, so we're going to go begin on the 20th.
Yep, it's going to be on the 5th. We'll draw on the 5th. Okay. So you have through early morning on the 5th to get those donations in to be entered for the drawing.
Talk about your other sponsors there. Without this doesn't happen.
Yes, without this, especially Salcedo Company, They have been long-standing presenting sponsors, so we can't thank them enough. They stepped up right away. They were the first person to reach out and say, hey, we want to make sure this community event can happen. The PUD, they are the park host and a sponsor this year, along with Washington Trust Bank, Larson Gross, Kashmir Valley Bank, and Appa Valley Honda. And then myself. Yeah, so threw that in there. We're really taking on the community aspect of the event. So the city's backing the fireworks and the security and safety for that to take place, and we've really taken on the role of ensuring that there is funding for the rest of it and kind of burdening that portion of it so the city doesn't have to do anything or worry about anything. They really wanted to focus on the meat of things from their perspective and just focus on the fireworks. So I've been assisting them with that, but then it's really been my responsibility to take on anything additional for community members to come down and enjoy.
And keep in mind, the fireworks show alone, put on by the lovely Miss Boggs and her crew, I'm sure they're back again.
They are.
That's like $36,000 for the fireworks?
Not quite, but
a lot.
for the security to take place, having Wenatchee PD ensuring that there are ample restrooms, that there's garbage, all of that. Yes, it does get up there near the $50,000 range. And again, we're lucky enough to not have to burden tax dollars, taxpayers for that. So
two things. One is kind of minor. Don't bring your dog down there. Just don't. You know what's going to happen. The dog's going to freak out, and you're going to freak out, and the dog's going to take off, and then the dog will end up at the Humane Society. Use a little common sense there. And number two, more importantly, parking is always tight down at Walla Walla Point Park. And there's a way you can avoid that altogether. You park behind JCPenney at Valley North, and Link will have shuttles running continuously starting
at 7 p.m. So yes, we'll have the Town Toyota Center will also be open and available and free parking, and that's right there. And
that fills up real quick though.
That does fill up quick, but we do want people to know that it is available. And then Link is awesome, and they will be doing shuttles from JCPenney starting at 7 p.m. and they will be running to the park, and then immediately following the wrap up of the fireworks show, they'll have 7 buses sitting there waiting to load guests and take them back, and there's always ample parking. They said, we always have spots left. People don't utilize it as much as they could. So if you think there's not going to be room, there will be room to use that shuttle, and it will probably be your fastest bet.
There's a lot of parking behind JCPenney. There is.
Yes.
And Link gets priority. So you say, well, it doesn't matter. You're going to sit in a bus in traffic anyway. No. Once they get a bus full and they're ready to head back to the to Penny's after the fireworks, they get to go ahead of anybody else.
They do. They get precedence leaving the park. So that will be your fastest route if you're parking in the park or at the Town Toyota Center. Link will be your fastest way home.
Do we get everything? Every time I talk to you, I always feel like I'm forgetting something, and then you leave.
I think that we wrapped everything. We touched on everything, but the park, no dogs in the park, that is a biggie.
Yeah.
We don't want people getting down there and being upset or frustrated that they did bring their dog down because their dog happens to be okay with fireworks. It's just a no-go for that day.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Even if your dog likes fireworks, it might like another dog a little bit more than fireworks.
Yeah.
We'll let that go with that. Allie Jordan from Elevated Marketing, they have a website, and it is?
Wenatchee4thofjuly.net is where you can find all of the updated information.
It's super easy to find.
Yes.
And that's where the QR code is for you to donate.
Yes.
And take a little pressure off of Allie if you don't mind. There you go, folks. We will see you on the afternoon of Thursday, which, again, by the way, for those of you just tuning in, is not only the 4th of July, it's also Independence Day. I like how those two things work out.
Yeah, the same day every year.
They dovetail. Unbelievable.
I love it.
Allie, it's good to see you. Have fun.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Yes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food. freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air. Downtown Wenatchee, something for everyone. Find custom floral designs for any occasion at Mountain Chick Floral. Even more wonderful plants and gifts abound in every corner in their new location at 7A South Wenatchee Avenue.
The Original Children's Shop offers sweet summertime outfits for your newborn to 8-year-old. Stop in for all the essentials you need to have a fun summer. Swimsuits, sandals, towels, sand toys, and more. Shop online or in our store.
Downtown Wenatchee, it's all here.
64 degrees here in the big city. It is a little breezy. Wind out of the west-northwest at 17 miles an hour. It's really windy down in Ellensburg as well. And it is going to be breezy today and tonight. In fact, I would call it windy, really, if you ask me. Now, we don't have the scenario that would need to occur for a red flag warning to be issued, not yet. Anyway, it is a possibility, but the relative humidity isn't going to be dry enough for that to happen. Three things have to happen for a red flag warning: very hot temperatures, strong winds, and low relative humidity. Well, we're going to have the warm temperatures, but not hot today. We are going to have the strong winds, but the relative humidity is going to be wet enough so a red flag warning isn't going to be issued. But it's going to be plenty breezy for most folks. As you can see in the Wenatchee Valley, our peak wind gusts. This is late in the afternoon, in the evening hours, you know, say 7:30, 8:30 is when the wind will be at its strongest, and we can see gusts close to 36 miles an hour, stronger still down in Ellensburg, and quite windy out in the Columbia Basin as well. So get ready for some pretty strong winds. So there's an increased fire risk, and of course area lakes that are prone to get a little choppy, and the strong winds will certainly be choppy today. As far as the holiday is concerned, on Thursday it is going to be quite nice indeed. The big story is very little wind on Independence Day in the Wenatchee Valley. It's going to be very warm. We're going to be in the mid-90s. You get up into the upper elevations, you'll be much cooler, of course, but very little wind, and that's good. If you have windy conditions, that could make the fire folks feel real nervous, because there are certain conditions where they wouldn't let you shoot off even professional commercial fireworks displays if it gets too windy, because they just don't know where those shells are going to go if the wind catches it. But we're going to be okay, although prepare to be, you know, hot on Independence Day. And then the heat really comes. We've got a heat wave heading our way. We're going to see temperatures 10 to 15 degrees above normal. A number of locations that you see on the screen are going to be bumping up against record high temperatures. So our first real significant heat wave is coming, and they say this could very well be a very long-standing heat wave of at least a week, if not longer. The heat wave really begins on Independence Day, but Wednesday is going to be plenty warm for most people. We'll be close to 90 tomorrow, and then get ready for triple digits. From the National Weather Service, here you go. Lots of sunshine today, lots of wind. High of 85 degrees, sustained winds about 13 to 20 miles an hour. Gusts, as you already saw, above 30. Clear tonight, still windy. The wind will be pretty much where it's going to be today, overnight tonight, about 20 miles an hour out of the northwest, gusts above 30 at times. The wind won't be as bad on Wednesday. We're going to start warming up. The high pressure is going to start sliding a little bit farther up the coast of British Columbia, and it's a big ridge of high pressure, and it's going to grab all of that hot temperatures, the hot, dry air that's down in the California area and Nevada, and it's going to suck it right up here, and that's why we're going to really warm up, especially on Independence Day with a high of 96. No wind at all expected on the 4th. Clear on Thursday night, overnight low of 65. And then we start talking about the possibility of record highs. Friday, July 5th, we're looking at 101. The record for July 5th is 103. That was set back in 1968. Forecast high on Saturday is 103. The record high for July the 6th is 104. That was set back in 1968, and we have a very good chance of setting a new record high on Sunday. We shall see. Stay cool out there, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.